Welcome everybody back to Just Plain Crazy. I am Brennan and thanks for joining me. It is maiden day finally of this Dancing Wings PT17 from Bitgo hobby. Let's get to it. Windsock says it's a bit windy today, but we're gonna give it a go. Alright guys, here we go with the Maiden. We're flying on high rates to start just because of the wind. We have an idle up switch there to keep the prop always rotating. It is a little bit windy here today, but all of our factory recommendations, everything's checked out. Last second control surface check is good. Let's go for it and see how this thing does. That hops right off the ground. So we definitely need a good bit of down trim.
You're in the sun, can't see a thing.
I'm going to click it in the low rates. It seems a little pitch sensitive. So I have a feeling the way it feels, and we are right about at 100 millimeters, I have a feeling we're a little tail heavy. So right now I'm just kind of putzing around, yeah. And even on low rates, guys, I think I have more than enough throw right there. But I do feel like we're a little pitch sensitive. So I think we can go forward with that CG. I'm about half throttle right now. That's pretty good as far as level goes. Trimmed out. Plenty of power in this thing. Rudder has good authority. Yeah, where I am with the low rate recommendations, guys, can probably be your high rate recommendations. I can definitely tune these down. And I think what I'm going to do, for the sake of getting in some good flight time here, a more productive flight time, I'm going to land this thing and I'm going to try shifting that battery forward a little bit and just try and get a little bit more of a nose heavy CG. See if I can check the ailerons while I'm up here on low rates. So the ailerons on low rates, as far as that recommendation, could really be high rates. We can leave the high rate recommendations would be good for doing rolls and tricks and stuff. So just kind of feeling this thing out. Like I said, it is a little bit breezy here today. You can see there the wind just kicked it.
High rates.
And this is a fairly light plane for having all this wing area. Yeah, I definitely, just that elevator's pitchy and I can't do the things with it I want to. So let me see if we can land this here. Let's shift the CG more forward. And that's the nice part about having those dots on the wing, is I know where I was and where I need to be. right, very pitchy coming down. So not quite what I'm looking for there as far as a feel, which is fine. Working out some of the settings in here, but let me go ahead and make a quick change, and I'll throw in a fresh battery so we have a good go at this right from the beginning to get accurate numbers. I'm ready to go up again, so I adjusted the elevator. I turned down those high rates a little bit on the, like I said, the elevator. The ailerons, I actually turned the low rates up on the ailerons closer to my high rate numbers, and I moved that CG, and as soon as I get back home, I'll give you an exact number where I am right now. We will take off on low rates because that appears to be enough for this model, and we're going to go up again here and see what happens. Taking off left to right. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better. Probably have to retrim. Need a click or two. All right, so we're pretty trim already. See if we can fly it around and see how it does. Now this thing has plenty of power. I'm a little bit about half to 3/4, a little bit above half. And I have absolutely no issues. If you want to go full, use a little rudder to kick it over. Big barrel roll. That's a little bit of rudder mixed in with that aileron. This thing you can really just, these throw recommendations are, that's just a straight aileron roll right there. Now with coordinated rudder, again into that hammerhead. Even where I am high rates right now for ailerons, I think is pretty good. It's authoritative. Thing handles this big wind pretty well. Let's see how we can do with a knife edge. It falls out a knife edge, but it's not horrendous. I wouldn't expect this thing to hold knife edge. Let's get it up here a little bit and see how we do with inverted. I'm trying to stay out of the sun down here at this end. It holds inverted pretty easily. Has a little bit of coupling with that, I guess because of the wing difference there. Part is here, I didn't use the factory ESC again with this one, only because I wanted telemetry. I can give you guys amperage draw out of this motor, and I can tell you more accurately a good flight time for this SMC 5300, and that's going to be relating on milliamps used and not just the timer, so you can get a more accurate idea of a good flight time with this. It's still, the elevator still feels a tad bit pitchy, and I don't know if that's because of this wind, or again we can throw a little bit more movement of things forward just to gain a little bit more nose heavy, but I like the way that this thing took off. It was much better. Let's get ourselves a Cuban. Definitely likes to spin, no problem with that. Alright, let's see if we can get maybe a touch and go with this thing. Maybe it lands a little bit better now. Again, it is pretty windy today, so if you see it moving around, the plane seems to handle it well, especially for an open cockpit on this. Powering up out of that one. Yeah, the wind kicks it around too much. No touch and goes today, guys. Not in this one anyway. Let's try another coordinated turn to the left. More of an aggressive dive angle, I guess. Let's try another one. Maybe we just had a moment there where the wind wasn't bad. My camera girl says so I'll take that.
I can see by the fuzzies on the microphone.
So listen, I'm gonna give this thing like a B+ here when it comes to the flying category, just because we have to work out the throws and the CG from what the book said, and that's okay. I don't mind that at all. It flies decent. Anything you can do a small CG change to and start doing some touch and goes at the field and throw it around is a good plane. It does handle this wind pretty well. I can't complain about that at all. So a nice flying plane here, guys. I don't know how far we are in the timer, but for the Maiden video, I'll have the timer going down here in the corner, but let's see if we can take it up here and do a, where we have for capacity. We're almost out of juice. Try and get a split ass up here. If I had to say, this thing's pretty scale-like flying. It's a little more power than scale. And like I said, it really does well with the wind. I'm impressed. about 36 right now. There it is. All right, see if we can land it, and then we'll do a cell check off the timer.
34 milliamp hours. Warning, capacity 3,871 milliamp hours.
Give it some cross rudder here. And there you have it, guys. That was our maiden and our fixer-upper flight, if you will, to get a better idea of what's going on. So let's go over here and take a look at what we have remaining in the battery. So like I said before, this thing works best if you take it out of the front. Otherwise, you wind up crushing the windshield, if you will, back there. So we're going to pop out this battery, and then I'm going to go back through and I'll review the telemetry data. I'll give you guys amperage readings and stuff, and you'll see exactly how long you can fly like that on 3,800 milliamps. And let me go ahead and prop you guys up here. Hopefully you can see this. All right, guys, so now you can see we're about 17% left, which is you know, maybe a little bit more. I'll turn down my milliamp used alarm, but we're about 3.7s across the board, 3.72, 3.73. So whatever that worked out to be at the timer at the bottom of the screen is what we got out of this, but that had to be close to a good 10-minute flight. And there you have it, guys. That's the wrap up of the maiden of this Dancing Wings PT17 Stearman from Bitgo Hobbies. If you're interested in this plane, go over and check it out at www.bitgohobby.com. The link's down in the description below. They also have a Dynam line. They have, of course, the Dancing Wings line. They have an HSD Jets line. So if any of that stuff may interest you, hop on over there and check them out. This plane, again, I'm going to give a B+ rating to. As far as its flying characteristics, the way it handled the wind is pretty cool. The only things that I think we need to change, we're going to tweak that CG, those throws, and obviously we already did the linkage during the build. But anyway, I'm going to get all my actual numbers, post them down in the description below so you have them as a closer reference. And again, that's to my liking. With that being said, all the telemetry data, you'll be able to see the time in the video, but you'll also be able to see some amperage readings and stuff that I will post down in the bottom. So with that being said, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up button. It helps the channel out a lot. If you're going to hit that thumbs down, do it twice for me. But it's Brendan here at Just Plain Crazy. You guys are just plain crazy for watching. I appreciate every one of you guys for subscribing and hanging out with me. With that being said, again, like, share, subscribe, and all that shameless stuff. I wish you guys happy flights. Peace out.